love it. All sports, double coverage.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. We hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I am Dom with the great man, Sauce. What's happening, brother?
How are we, Doma? Massive week in the NFL. I mean, we've titled the NFL is king, and that's because it was some of the most ridiculous football we have seen, let alone this season. I think just in general, playoff football, the way that some of those games ended, nail-biting stuff. We'll talk about that in a bit, but I'm well. Got the Lakers hat represent. Anthony Davis is back, so the Lakers, everything's all good in the hood. That's just Band-Aid. Just the Band-Aid comes to, just gloss it over until it all gets ripped off come playoff time, because we still ain't going to do shit regardless of Anthony Davis is back or not. I'll tell you that right now. But nonetheless, LeBron is still dominating at 37 years of age.
I'm not making any comments about LeBron. I've had debates about LeBron this week and debates about fucking who else did I have a debate about? LeBron and Djokovic is the best tennis player ever and all these things. And
Djokovic is draining. The best, mate.
He's not the best.
He's
not the best. The best. The best is one half of the Special K team, mate, and he's made it into the final, and that's Nick Kyrgios. And we are going to talk tennis on this show. I'm not getting into the Djokovic thing, the Nadal thing, the Federer thing. I just can't be bothered with it. I genuinely cannot. Adam, how you going? Maddie, what's happening? But Sauce, yes, we have NBA. It's just a brief little chat on NBA today after the NFL, which we'll lead the show with. EPL, UFC, some tennis, and hobby talk, pretty quick one. There's not much on there. And then we'll explain how the new format for the Le Mans of the year is going to work. So it's all thought out finally, which was literally 5 minutes before we came on the show, like everything, Sauce. And we'll run with it. But we will start with the NFL, which was the craziest weekend. 3 of the 4 top seeds all bundled out of the playoffs in great fashion. 2 all-time Hall of Famers, the GOAT being one of them, no longer a part of the playoffs. We will start with Joey B, your boy, Sauce. First road playoff win in franchise history for Cincinnati. We're going to go through this pretty in-depth. I'm pretty sure you and I think we watched every game. I know I watched every game. We'll have a look at the stats in this one. Amazing stuff. I could just see the smile on your face now, but the smile you would have had when they got that win over the weekend, you just would have been over the moon, mate.
Unreal. Look, if you listen to this show, over the many episodes we've had, I've always been confident in Joey B's abilities. Got sacked 9 times, but regardless, found a way to get the job done. That Cincinnati offensive line is a joke. It is actually beyond a joke. For him to get sacked 9 times and still find a way to win that football game is unreal. It just goes to show how well he played. That's going to rattle any quarterback, but, let alone a second-year quarterback, obviously coming off a big injury. He comes in, he wins, not only wins Cincinnati their first playoff win in however many years,
I think it's like 30-something, 30-something years, 32 years.
Yeah, ridiculous time. And then he backs it up on the road. Just unbelievable. Brilliant play all round. Well, not all round by the Bengals, but, by Joey B. I'm just going to say he put him on the back. He had to throw it 37 times, 28 completions. Not the best QBR. But
no TDs though. He didn't throw a TD in the game.
Yeah, no TDs, but it was a close game, mate. It was back and forth. It was. It was really dominated. A lot of good defensive plays. We've seen that, with the 9 sacks, and then on the other side, 3 interceptions for the Titans. So we always say this, Doma. It's defense that matters, and whether it's the you know, in the NFL or in the NBA, you need a good defense regardless to
It
be able to,
does, it does. But in
make plays.
this day and age in the NFL, also, it's like having a great quarterback as well. It just is the piece to the puzzle. Really is the
Yes,
piece of the
yes,
puzzle.
for sure.
And Joe Burrow won his division, which is an extremely tough division, got his team to the playoffs. They had the best record, 10-5, or 10-5, 10-8, or whatever they went, 10-7. I think it's 10-8. But unbelievable stuff. It was in talks potentially as an MVP candidate. Obviously, I think that's going to go to probably Rodgers or Brady, if anything. But the King was back as well, Source, this week. King Henry couldn't
They
do
stifled
much.
him. 20
They
carries.
did. He
Only
did have
62
a
yards.
TD early, but after that, pretty much shut down. So he moves
Big
on,
win.
Source, which is going to be good.
Big win. Yeah, look, we're not going to debate it just yet, but it's going to be interesting to see how this panned out. I mean, the price discrepancy between, Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow was massive. Let's not be honest, right? Let's be honest here, Doma. It was huge. That gap has slowly closed a little bit. Probably still think that both these guys are probably, still pretty expensive, but I don't. Who am I to say not to collect them at this point? You go for your life. You
Yeah,
do what
fair
you want
enough.
to do. But it'll just be interesting to see how this pans out. Many people believed that the Chargers would have had a better franchise, better front office, better everything to obviously get Herbert further before Joe Burrow. No one really believed in the Bengals, and me included, mate. But here they are in the championship game,
You didn't,
AFC championship game. So
exactly right. They're their Source. They are definitely there. And they are playing against, in the AFC Championship, the Kansas City Chiefs, which was one of the most ridiculous games to end the weekend. Just mind-boggling stuff, Source. Mind-boggling. There was something like 25 points or whatever it was scored, or 22 points scored in the last 2 minutes of this game. And that's not even an exaggeration, or 3 minutes, whatever it was. It was just out of control.
2.5 minutes or something like that.
2.5 minutes. There you go. Josh Allen had 4 TDs in this one. And then on the flip side, Mahomes had 3 TDs. He threw for 378. Allen threw for 329. It was just a great game of football, and very slow on the scoring end. Well, they were scoring, but not like what happened in the last quarter. It was
consistent scores going up throughout the game.
Yeah.
But it was just a brilliant game of football. There's
so
not
good.
much other way I can say it. One of the greatest NFL games I've probably actually watched, in a sense, and the way it all finished. Not a fan. I'm going to say this. Not a fan of the OT rule. I think that's all right. Maybe during the season that's what you do, but during the playoffs, each team should get a crack at scoring that TD. I just don't think that that's fair. But it is what it is. Josh Allen wasn't happy about it. He did come out after the game and said, well, if we won the coin toss, we would be going to the AFC championship game. And you know what? He's probably correct, because, both defenses couldn't really stop the offenses, especially late in that game. They were just able to move the ball up the field. The Bills went for it a number of times on fourth down in that fourth quarter, and they got the job done. It was unreal, just unbelievable. And then, the Chiefs themselves getting into the field goal range and getting that kick to send it to overtime. It was brilliant. Brilliant. But, my pick is still alive, Doma. That's all I'm going to say. My pick is still alive. Said at the start of the year, the Chiefs were the team to beat. Here they are. They're in the AFC Championship. One game away, Doma.
They're in a good spot. They're in a good spot. I'll tell you that much. My homeboy looking the goods again. Funny thing, I just want to bring it back to probably like episode 20 of this show, Source, when I said to buy Josh Allen when his cards were 200 for his rookie, and for his silver Prism Raw was 200. And people said, oh, psychotic. I would never pay that much for his cards. It's Josh Allen. If you're not watching this guy, he's genuinely a freak of nature as an athlete.
Yeah, he's good.
He's a freak of nature.
He's fast along the ground as well when he gets moving, but he's tall.
Did you see the move where he did the pirouette in between the defenders and then like did the hop step and then kept moving? The guy's huge. And he's so agile. It's unbelievable. So he's got a bright future. He just needs to get over that hump. He needs to try and get to the AFC Championship and try and win a Super Bowl. It's unfortunate he wasn't on the other side of the draw because this would have probably been amazing if this was the AFC Championship game. But unfortunately, we don't get that. How you going, Global? Great to have you in. Matty is in here too. Matt Tabe, yes, definitely start watching some NFL. It is very, very interesting and very fun to watch, actually. I've learned so much.
Games like that, it's unbelievable. Like, don't get me wrong, there are some absolutely dumpster fires throughout the season when you get some of those average teams. But when you get to this time of the year, playoff football, it is unreal. I mean, moving on to the next game, whatever we're talking about, let's go with the 49ers and the Packers. Your pick bundled out 13-10, an absolute, you can't say a dumpster fire of a game. They were literally playing in snow.
Mate,
right?
It was game.
What are you supposed to do? Like tough conditions.
It was a winter wonderland in the second half. I'll tell you that much. They did their scoring pretty much in the first half of the game, which I'm gonna get the box score up. I'm pretty sure it was in the first half of the game. Nothing was happening in the third quarter, and it was genuinely like every time they dive to make a catch source, they're leaving snow angels in the impressions on the ground. Snow was coming down in sheets. Yeah, there was no score in the second quarter, and then 3 points in the third quarter, and that was just to San Francisco, and then 13 points scored in the fourth quarter when the game was on the line. So everything was done in the last quarter. Obviously, the field goal knocks out Aaron Rodgers, which, not for anything, Source, with fair reason to believe he should have probably won the Super Bowl this year. But that's not saying, oh, that's an over-exaggeration. He's probably the guy that should have won it on how well their team was playing. But unfortunately, you need to win these games on your path to glory. And Jimmy Jesus stood in his way. The guy that no one has any hope for, and then he just plays so well when the game is on the line. He can have an absolute howler of a game, Source, and then when the game is on the line, he just finds a way, this guy. He went 11 of 19 for 131 yards and threw an interception, but he made some big plays at the end. It's unbelievable. Neither QB in this game had a TD. That's probably due to the fact that there was snow. And
is he going or is he staying, mate? Is he going or is he staying?
He's gone. He's gone.
You reckon he's gone?
He's not staying, especially not now.
Oh, he did come out and say that, if they're going down the road of a rebuild, he doesn't want to be involved in that. So it's interesting to see how this pans out. And as you said, credit to Jimmy G. Credit to where credit is due. He's back in the championship game. So
it's unbelievable, isn't it? Absolutely unbelievable. Next up and final one is the GOAT is gone. Rams get their revenge in what could have been 27 to what was it, Source? 27-8 or 27-3 at one stage?
27-3 at one stage, yep.
Brady got it to 27 apiece.
And I thought at that point, you want to know, Doma, when I was looking at that late in that game, it was 27-3.
I thought it was over.
No. I looked at it, I'm like, oh, surely they can't come back from here. And then the screen literally went on Tom Brady, and I looked at it and I said, no, actually, hang on. It's Brady. I'm not going to say it can't be done. That's literally what went through my head. And sure enough, I was like, I thought I was seeing a replay of the Super Bowl against Atlanta when he came back in the second. I thought I was seeing a replay. I swear to you, Doma. But unfortunately, they didn't get it done in the end. Matt Stafford came up clutch. And, that Rams organization need to give themselves a massive, massive, massive pat on the back. Massive.
How good's Cooper Cup?
Obviously getting rid of shipping out Goff, the dud, and getting in Stafford, who's a big, massive upgrade. And yes, Cooper Cup, unbelievable. 9 receptions, 183 yards, 1 TD. And if anyone's seen that, the second last catch he did at the end, where he just shimmied the guy off and just, and then the guy literally just, it was like literally an ankle breaker in NFL terms. And caught the pass, got it downfield, and they're able to get the field goal for the W. But that was another unbelievable game, Dom. Another unbelievable game. Just a great game of football. And look, Brady will be back next season. Let's be honest, he's going to be still around. And just a credit to him for him going this far in the season. Obviously had some issues, locker room issues.
Rumor is it could be his last season next season.
Yeah. So
that's the rumor. Even that, he had probably one of his best, if not his best, statistical season of his career this year.
It's unreal. That is
He's
unreal.
pushing 50. Unbelievable. But the reason why it is NFL is king on the top of the show is because of this. It is the most popular sport in the United States. It has all eyes watching it. And when it comes to a league now where there's so much athleticism and talent on rosters, especially at the quarterback position, man, it's anyone's game. The teams that we thought were going to be here, Chiefs. I said Chiefs were going to play against the Packers in the Super Bowl, and obviously the Packers would win it. So Chiefs are still there. Did I think the Bengals would be here? No. Did I think the 49ers would be here? No. Did I think the Rams would be here? Yeah, I did, but not the 49ers. So, Source, going into this week, Bengals, Chiefs at Arrowhead, the AFC Championship. Who have you got?
Chiefs. And that's, I got to go with my my pick that I went with at the start of the season, which was Chiefs to win it all. But happy to see my boy Joey Burrow there.
Definitely.
I think it's going to be a good game. They're going to all leave it out on the field, but I think the Chiefs will have enough on their home deck to get the job done.
I'm going Chiefs. Also, 49ers, Rams, SoFi Stadium. San Francisco, mind you, has won 6 straight games against the Rams. There's a little nice cheeky stat going into the NFC Championship here. Who have you got?
Well, 49ers beat them last time.
Well, they've won 6 straight against them.
So I'm you know what? I'm going to go with the 49ers.
Surely not.
I'm going with Jimmy G. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to get the job done. He's going to get one more victory. Matthew Stafford is going to fumble at the last hurdle. Matty Campbell won't be happy with me saying that because he's a Rams fan. But, mate, I'm going with Jimmy G.
They broke my heart last year, this team. I love Bosa. I love Jimmy Jesus. I can't stand Odell Beckham Jr. I love Cooper Cup. But I love Aaron Donald too. So I'm going to go Rams, Source. I think Rams, they're loaded. They're absolutely loaded. It is, honestly, this is their best chance. It's their best chance to win it. There's no Brady in the way. They should win this game. They should make the Super Bowl. They shouldn't have to go 3 and out 50 million times in the Super Bowl as they did against the Patriots when they played against them. They haven't got, like you said, they haven't got Goff. They got a more competent quarterback at the helm. I think they get it done. They're just too loaded. So looks like it'll be Rams Chiefs. Few people in here. Bob Filligan, welcome to the show. First time seeing your name, so welcome. Global says, you boys know how much I love the NFL. It's growing on me. Yeah, we know Global.
He's asking, is Jimmy Garoppolo Greek?
Yeah,
because if he's Greek, then he'll follow it more.
Yeah. Adam said, at least you didn't pick Eagles and Raiders, boys. I was drinking the wrong Kool-Aid for sure on that one. Matty says should just start where game finishes. Then there's more tactics at the end of regular game time. Global, yeah, he's Jimmy Greek. I'm not sure. Grunted, what's up? Partners, Rams v Bengals. I hope I don't like Mahomes. There you go. So Rams Bengals for Gruntdad Sports Cards over in Korea.
I wouldn't be upset if the Bengals made it because you know how
I'm not going to be upset if the Bengals win. I just think it would be a walkover if they do make it and they play the Rams. That's my only concern because Aaron Donald would eat Joe Burrow alive.
He would.
In a Super
He
Bowl
would because that offensive line is putrid. Really bad.
It would be devastating. Let's move on, Source. NBA. Few things I just want to talk about. All right. So it's not complete public knowledge because James Harden hasn't said it from his mouth, but reported from Mark Stein this morning that he's not happy in Brooklyn and he will be actively testing free agency. One of our good friends, one of the Le Monde nominees from 2021, Perk, was saying that he actually believes that it's best suited for James Harden to leave. There's been a few other reporters out there saying the same thing. And it does full circle, Source, because I want to get your take in 2 secs, because it does full circle, because a lot of places where they're saying that he should be testing his free agency is the Philadelphia 76ers and partnering up with Joel Embiid. So firstly, I want to point the question to you. Do you think he should be going? Should he leave Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving? And secondly, do you think it would be a great fit partnering him with Joel Embiid, who is absolutely dominating at the moment?
Yeah, I like that fit. I think I think if he goes to that team, to the Philly, he'll probably play the point. They'll put him at point guard, handling the ball. I mean, imagine running a pick and roll with him, Joel Embiid, and James Harden. It's just be pretty much unstoppable, So look, I think that's an interesting play. I'll be enlightened to see what he does, but I don't think he's a bad fit at the Nets. But I feel like he doesn't. I mean, why did he leave? Why did he leave OKC in the first place? I mean, did they get rid of him? They tried to build around Westbrook and Durant.
Six man, and they were going to give the money to the other two guys, and he thought he was worth more than what they were. In the hindsight, he wasn't worth more than KD. So he didn't
like living under the shadow of KD. So here he is again under the shadow of KD. Because let's not beat around the bush. KD is the man on that team, right?
Yeah, but let's look at the other thing too. Let's not beat around the bush too. Like, it was meant to be KD and Kyrie, their team. KD brought Harden across, and I think Harden just doesn't like the dynamic, I don't think, either. So, yeah, carry on. Apologies. I thought I'd just put that in there.
Carry on.
So, yeah. Gruntdad
we'll
says
see how it plays out.
Harden to 76ers has been a rumor for years. I think they both want it to happen. It just didn't in the past, but now the chance again. Well, he's a free agent this time, so he can just walk straight over there if the offer's good enough and just sign on the dotted line. Adam says he reckons Kyrie's going to get pushed out, to be honest. I don't think so. If Harden leaves, I don't think you can get rid of Kyrie Irving. With the pandemic, the way it's trending and the way it is in the United States, they haven't got mandatory vaccines and stuff. And if it does peter out over there, I do see it going back to normal where they just say, "Oh, we've beat it." America's more ahead of the times than what we are. As crazy as that is to say when you actually hear it come out of your fucking mouth. But unfortunately, they are. They haven't got all those mandates like what we do. And I think they could go back to normal and try and get normality back in their country before we do something like here in our country. So I do think there could be an opportunity for him to be back playing all games.
It doesn't really matter, man. They just pay the fine, plays the game.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Gruntdad says now the 76ers can have the two biggest overrated bums in Harden and Simmons.
Well, Simmons isn't going to be there.
Simmons won't be there. He's gone.
He won't be there. He'll be out of there.
Whether
And
he's
you know,
out,
if you Simmons
yeah.
and Harden wouldn't not be a good fit together. I'll tell you that.
I would honestly, if you genuinely think Harden's a good fit, would you trade Ben Simmons to the Brooklyn Nets for James Harden? I would do that now. I reckon Philly's in the position to win it if they get James Harden now.
Yeah, that's
If Embiid can stay healthy, they can win it.
Embiid's dominating. Let's just talk about him for a second.
Yeah,
He's
you
absolutely
watched him the other day, and you just messaged me and said, "Tom, are you watching this guy?" I said, "No." And what did you say to me? Fucking watch him.
He's unreal. He's unreal. I just say again, I genuinely think he's pretty much the modern Shaq. I'm going to call him. He's the modern Shaq. I mean, he's a hell of a lot better free throw shooter than Shaq. He's better 3-point shooter than Shaq. Pretty much does everything better than Shaq. I'm going to say most things, right? Obviously, probably closer to the basket. Shaq was a lot better with his, but didn't really have too much of a jump shot. He got one a bit later. He had that little 12-footer, 15-footer. But the moves that Joel Embiid does is unreal. There was one point he rebounded the ball. He went end to end. I mean, I shouldn't say that because Shaq always do that.
Before he
used to do that all the time. But I'm just saying in terms of the jump shot, the fadeaways, and he's just in terms of having that to his game. That's why I'm saying he's the modern day Shaq because he's also as dominant on defense when he wants to move his feet and get into position, and then he's just unstoppable on offense. No one can guard him. No one can guard him. You put the switch onto him, give him the smaller defender, it's barbecue chicken. And if it's
just
got the bigger guy on him,
guys,
it doesn't matter.
It's unbelievable. He just bullies everyone now. It's like, remember when your biggest concern was him settling for that fadeaway jump shot, and you said this is bullshit. You can't be settling for that. Yeah. Is he still doing that now?
He forces he forces his way to the line, and he's so crafty. Like he's getting 10 free throw shots a game. I seen one game the other day when he scored like 40 points or 50 points. He had like 15 free throw attempts, nearly 20. I think I seen him in the last 2 weeks. There was one game he had over 20 free throw attempts. Like that's forcing the issue. That's that means you're going hard to the ring and you're making them defend you at the top where you're so powerful. And when he does that and imposes himself in the game, that changes the whole aspect for Philly because it puts a lot of pressure on the defense because they don't want to foul out. They don't want to get into foul trouble. But here they are giving up a lot of foul shots to him, and then they find themselves in foul trouble, and that could change the game. So
just imagine Harden goes there, Source, and you give him foul shots to Embiid because you can't stop him, and then you give him foul shots to James Harden because he's the flop king, and he gets free throws regardless. You can't stop him. They'd be unstoppable. Grunt Dad says, why would the Nets do that? I don't know. In my opinion, I think they might do that because of the fact if they know Harden's going to walk. Do you take on the big contract, get a player? I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't think they'll do that.
Simmons to the Knicks, no chance. Zion's going there. Global. Zion will be there. Maddie says Gronk will be gone from Tampa as well. What else we got? Modern day Elijah one says global. Adam says MVP. He's got the MVP chance going for Embiid. Best D on the day. Bosa v AD. Matty's still going with the NFL. He loves it. If you haven't met Matty, he loves it, bro. He loves the NFL. You got to go Donald. Or if you're talking about the best AD on the day, Aaron Donald or A Disney, you go Aaron Donald still again because the other guy is he's a dud. All right. EPL Source. I just had to take a pot shot at the Lakers. EPL, there's a break. All right. But I'm going to turn this into a bit of soccer, not EPL. All right. The topic is soccer. And I just want to point this out there to you, Source. I want to put this out to the people that are in the chat. I want to put it out to the people that are listening to the show, that watch it on YouTube, listen on audio format. And I want to give here's the challenge I want to give you. I want you to think about what I say right now, and hit us up in the DMs and tell me if I've lost my fucking marbles first and foremost, or if I'm actually on the money. Source has no idea what I'm going to ask as well, so I'm going to ask him the question first. Does it feel like Lionel Messi has retired from world football at the moment? Straight out, Source.
Yeah, you don't
Straight
hear
out.
much about him. You don't hear much
Straight
about
out.
him.
Straight out. Has he not? In all honesty, has he become? In my opinion, it's not like I'm not diminishing him as a career, but he's become irrelevant to the sport now. Since he moved to PSG, I hear nothing about him. I hear nothing. Is that because Mbappe?
Also got to do with there's no Champions League at the moment. So when Champions League is around,
but it doesn't matter. Source, he's playing in League One. He should be playing. He should be kicking goals. He should be dominating. He should be making headlines regardless. I know Ronaldo hasn't scored in his last 2 games, but he had the hockey assist to Cavani to win us the game against West Ham.
12 games played this season in League One. Yeah. 1 goal, 5 assists.
That's pretty good. He's had 5 assists. What's Ronaldo's stats in the Premier League? He's definitely kicked more than 1 goal. He kicked 2 in his first games.
He's had 18 appearances, 8 goals, 3 assists. Yeah, look,
Ronaldo's not playing with Mbappe on one wing and Di Maria on the other one because Neymar's not playing at the moment. He definitely hasn't got Hakimi as his fullback. He hasn't got Sergio Ramos as his centre back. He hasn't got Christian Verratti. Do I need to keep going? I'm just pointing it out there. So if you think I've lost the plot, you can come and tell me. But you know what my response is going to be to everyone that actually messages me and says I've lost the plot. I'm going to be like, well, prove to me that I've lost it. Prove to me.
Yeah, it's...
Ronaldo is relevant every week. He's relevant every week. This is what makes a GOAT. You go out there deliberately to watch the greatest player play. Whether you want to go out there and bag him or not bag him, you will tune in every week to watch Ronaldo. If Messi and Ronaldo are playing at the same time, are you going to actually tune in to watch Messi play? No, you're not. Don't tell me you're going to do that. Because you're going to tune in to watch Ronaldo because he's your favorite player, but you're also going to tune into Ronaldo if you hate him because you want to see him fail. Do not for 1 second say you'd pick the Messi game. You're going to watch a League One Farmers League game over a Premier League game with Ronaldo playing. Do not tell me ever. If you do that, you've got no idea about the sport. Sorry, on the spot, you have no idea about the sport.
Doma, all I got to say, I think the statistics on the season stick out for themselves. I mean, in a league which is far, far superior to La Liga, where he came from, he should be banging in goals. He should be absolutely banging in goals. I really don't understand.
I just wanted to put it out there, Source. All right, I'm not trying to start. It's not really more about Ronaldo and a Messi thing. In all honesty, it's not actually about that. It's more about Messi. No one's talking about him.
I'll just leave it here. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, in his first season when he went to League One, he kicked 38 goals in 31 games. He came, he came from La Liga, where he only kicked 16 goals in 29 games in the where he came from before. So look, and then he went there and he absolutely dominated. He was there in 2009 to 2010. He played with Messi, only kicked 16 goals, but in League One, he absolutely dominated. So La Liga is hands down a more difficult league, but
way harder.
Messi seems to be finding League One more difficult.
I just think that he's too comfortable now because his team's that good. Doesn't have to do anything. Global says, do you think South American nations do well in the World Cup because it's going to be hot? I know where you heard this. I know exactly where you heard this. All right. All right. And I'm not going to call out the person. I'm just going to say that I'm not trying to start beef. I'm genuinely not. I actually probably should message him and actually tell him about this because the stadiums and stuff are going to be they were made air conditioned. That was like one of the promises that was made because you can't play in 50-degree heat, mate. They freaking die. The players would struggle, absolutely struggle. So, yeah, it's going to be like climate control. Yeah, they just live day to day in a hot country, but when they go to play and train, they're going to be training undercover. So it's a whole sporting complex. I'm pretty sure that they
Dr. Cool, the mastermind behind Qatar's 2022's air-cooled stadiums. He's the man who created and created the design. There he is there. Here's a whole article on FIFA.com where they state about where the stadiums are cooled to a certain degree, so that the patrons who are viewing the match and the players can have a enjoyable experience. So, yeah, I don't see it being any issue at all. And I mean, there's too much money invested by these Qataris, quadrillionaires, whatever the hell higher than billion goes. I don't bloody know. Quadrillion, I don't know. They got that much money. They literally blow their nose with $100 bills and wipe their ass with it. So they get the job done. Don't you worry about that. The stadiums will be comfortable between 18 to 24 degrees Celsius. Beautiful.
There you go.
Absolutely
there you go.
beautiful.
That's it. All right, Sauls, I think we'll move on because time is actually getting away from us, surprisingly, when we actually thought that there wasn't much on the agenda. Global says he'd rather watch Salah. I would rather watch Salah than Messi as well. Adam agrees with me. Thanks, mate. And James, good evening. Hello, James. How you going? UFC Source. It was a big card.
Massive card. UFC 270 Ngannou versus Gan. Doma. It was an unbelievable card. Unbelievable card. I'll bring it up. We'll go through.
I'm shattered about one fight.
So this is there's the prelims there. Feel free to have a look at these. Honorable note, mention Jack Della Mandalina from Perth, Western Australia, on his debut, absolute clout. Good win for the Aussie. Then there was a few other good bouts here. Then the main card, you had Michael Morales KO'd Trevin Giles and defeated him in the first round. Then you had Said Nurmagomedov defeated Cody Starman with a guillotine choke in the first round. Just another one out of the Dagestani factory there that's just dominating for him to keep chugging along. Then you had Mikel Pereira with a decision over Andre Filau. And then you had Devison Figueiredo defeating Brandon Moreno, which in my opinion was pretty stiff. I think there's definitely going to be a rematch. And I genuinely think, Figueiredo didn't do enough to get the win. Now, I don't know.
Looks like you got dominated to me.
Yeah, look, well, I think that's knockdown. He said he knocked him down 3 times. Yeah. Okay. Look, they counted 3 knockdowns, but this is the thing. It wasn't like a true knockdown. Yes, I understand when it knocked down, but it was not, he couldn't get the finish. So, one of them was a bit dubious, might have not been there. I don't think it was, that the way that they called it. I mean, I think they've edged him because he's got the 3 knockdowns. Figueiredo, I thought that Moreno did enough to hold the title and that Figueiredo didn't actually do enough to take the title away. But there will be a rematch here. I think Moreno will probably be a bit more careful next time. He probably did go in there at times a bit too much, but his output was really, really good. He had more significant strikes, 30 more shots to the head of Figueroa, but obviously the judges didn't see it that way. They took those knockdowns into massive account, which one I think was probably a bit tough. Then we had the main event. Now, Francis Ngannou went the 5 rounds. What I will say here is, Doma, and people can attest to this, who I watched the fight with. I mentioned, Cyril Gane, he's got that, he floats like a butterfly. He sits on the outside, and there's you could see in the ring, massive difference between Ngannou and Gane. But in the first 2 rounds, Gane, was winning those. And he was able to float on the outside, get the kick, land strikes, and admittedly land more punches and land more strikes. And Ngannou was, Gane was able to jump around, slip in and out. And Ngannou had to change up his tactic. And I said before the fight to my friend who I was watching the fight with, I said to him, I think Ngannou, if he wants to win this fight, he's going to have to take it to the ground, because Gane or else will be able to just float on the outside and pick him apart. Very much like what Adesanya does. Cyril Gane's got that similar sort of fighting style. Moves very well for a heavyweight. And he was doing that in the first 2 rounds. And, all the pre-fight commentary said that, if Gane wants to win this, he's going to have to take it to the ground, because Ngannou could knock him out at any time because he's got so much power. So they've called it the opposite, but I called it the opposite to them. So I don't know who's the expert here, because I ended up being right. He went and took it to the ground in the final 3 rounds. He took it to the ground in the final 3 rounds and absolutely had massive control. 8 minutes in charge, control, 4 takedowns in the match. The one takedown that Cyril Gane got, Ngannou actually flipped it and then ended up on top, in top control, and was able to flip out of it. It was just, you know what? It's not the performance that people are used to from Francis Ngannou. They're used to the raw power. They're used to the big knockouts. But, he proved that he could change up his game. He's not all about the knockout power. He's not all about the one-hit finishes. That he's able to change it up according to his opponent and get the win and retain the title. I think there'll be another rematch in this bout, in this fight, between the two. And it'll be interesting to see what Cyril Gane does, whether he tries to add some more size so he can deal with when Ngannou takes him to the ground, he can actually, is able to get out and get to his feet a bit more. Because I just think that once Ngannou did get in there, he was just like a big bear. He literally done the Khabib to what Khabib, would do to his opponents, and Cyril Gane just couldn't get out from underneath. He could move, he could wiggle, but just never was able to get up.
He hurt his knee in this one as well, Ngannou, and I think he's getting surgery on his knee. So I don't know how long he'd be out for, but
there was a point there where Gane had him in a knee, and I thought he was going to tap, but he just didn't tap, and he was full twisting his knee. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's where he copped that injury. He was copping a really big twist on the knee from Gane when they're on the ground grappling, and it looked bad. So I wouldn't be surprised if he popped something in that. But it was a great fight, unbelievable fight.
Is there a card this week?
There is a card this week. UFC Fight Night, Hermansen versus Strickland. I'll just bring up the card quickly. The main fights, Jack Hermansen versus Sean Strickland, starts from 11 a.m. this weekend, Sunday the 6th, is it? No weekend. No, none this weekend, the following week. So Sunday the 6th. So no card this weekend, the following weekend.
Everyone's got a break this week.
They're having a break, but then it's back again. And the next card after that's a big one, Sunday the 13th. That's what we were looking forward to.
Cover that one next week, 100%. Izzy's back. Adam says, here's a good one for me. I think Messi went to PSG because he was scared of the Premier League? No. I do think if he did go to Man City, though, it would have made a difference because he would have been just in the same position. He was at the best team in the comp, so it depends on what he did early. James says, Source, have you bought any UFC NFTs?
No, I don't even know. I might have. I don't even know if I've got early access.
No, they're sold out.
I may have. Oh, there you go.
It already happened. Global said, the UFC have to give their athletes a portion of the pay-per-view. Nope. They get nothing. That's the big controversy.
Yeah, it's the big controversy at the moment.
Like the big names generating a lot of the money and not seeing a portion. They just see whatever the fight kitty is, the fight bag that they get given. So we'll see what happens there if that does change in the future. All right, Source, before we get into hobby talk, seeing as it is, the Australian Open, summer down here, and we've got some of the world's best tennis players, we might as well talk about it. There's nothing eventful to talk about, in my opinion. Well, there was something very eventful to talk about in regards to the lead up to this event, but I just think that what that discussion point it did overshadow the event a little bit. I think COVID here obviously hit us pretty hard in Victoria. A lot of people have just been whatever with the Australian Open being on, but there is a bit of hope. Our very own Ash Barty in the women's comp. She is currently playing right now. Is she Source? I'm pretty sure 7:30 was her game.
She's up 4-1 in the first set.
Beautiful. That's a semi. She'll winner obviously goes into the final, which will be played on Saturday. I'm pretty sure. But then the other hope too. Four hopefuls. It ended up being Ebden and Purcell on one side of the draw, and what has been one of the most entertaining pairings in the doubles competition. I think it's safe to say of all time. Nick Kyrgios and Thanasi Kokkinakis are the opponents of Purcell and Ebden in the men's doubles Grand Slam final. Unbelievable, Source. I wanted to put this out there. I know Nick Kyrgios has copped so much flack, all right? And it's going to be a little bit of a rant because, I'm going to compare it to another sport. Tennis and golf. Oh, global, very funny. It reminds me of Happy Gilmore. This is exactly where I'm going with it, all right? Don't worry, I'll get to it, all right? Tennis and golf. Golf and tennis, what do they share in common, Source?
They're old gentlemen's sport,
like in the tennis realm, it was men and women, so it's a very posh type sport by the book.
Yeah.
All right. Do your top button up, do up your tie. It's like you're in high school. All right. Do your tie up, keep your top button up. Now, the one guy that impacted golf was Tiger Woods. He came in there, he was different. Athletic, big shot, would scream on course. He carried on. Let's be honest, he did. He carried on. But he dominated. And people didn't like that because, it was threatening the history of the sport. But history needs to evolve. If I can't point it out any clearer, the comparison for golf, I'm actually going to use Global's little analogy here, his little comparison, in Happy Gilmore. The point of Happy Gilmore is golf is boring as batshit. You put someone that is entertaining in a sport that is boring as batshit, everyone wants to watch it. And the sport will learn to evolve within limits. All right. So Happy Gilmore and Nick Kyrgios have actually been on the same trajectory. Happy got banned, Nick Kyrgios got banned. Happy got fined, Nick Kyrgios got fined. They're the same person. All right. Happy got commercials, Nick Kyrgios got commercials. All right. Happy played a doubles tournament pro-am with Bob Barker. He punched on with Bob Barker, but Thanasi and Kyrgios haven't punched on because they're all lovey-lovey, which is good. But Nick Kyrgios for the sport is unbelievable. We're living in a time where, I'll be honest with you, Source, to the tennis purists out there that love the sport to death, what are we getting once Djokovic, Nadal, and Federer are gone? Please tell me what we're getting outside of Tsitsipas and probably Berrettini. It's just the most bland, vanilla players in the men's comp. Women's comp, anyone can win it. So it's actually more entertaining to watch instead of like the same three people like in the men's comp. But it's just bland, freaking what do I want? Medvedev. Just, you know what I mean? He's just a robot. It's just shit. I want entertainment. I don't care if Kyrgios goes out in the second round. You're going to end up remembering his matches.
They've got to move with the times.
John McEnroe did it.
It's been good to see. The way he revs up the crowd is just something else. It makes it enjoyable to watch. It was pretty funny, his match against Medvedev. Obviously, Medvedev cracking the shits because he's geeing up the crowd, and the crowd starts yelling anyway during the serves and whatnot. Not that I think that should matter. You know, I think they're pretty pretentious about the whole noise thing while they're playing.
They're just
in my opinion. But yeah, nonetheless, it's been good to see. I mean, I've viewed a little bit of it. Watched those double matches mainly, obviously because they're Australian. But other than that, you know, caught a little bit of the Medvedev game last night. It was a good match. The youngster Sim couldn't get the job done.
Spewing.
Yeah, look, it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see where this goes from here and on what tennis and the ATP allow. You know, whether they, which I think they're going to keep going with it because, you know, it puts bums on seats and gets people through the door, and that's all about money at the end of the day. So, you know, if that's the case, then I think they're probably going to be all for it.
Adam says, so when they're in the final, Kyrgios' speech will be "The price is wrong, bitch." I love it. Oh, wow. Anyway, we just wanted to bring light on, you know, there is a spot for Nick Kyrgios and an alternate personality in sports, all right? We made accommodations for Dennis Rodman. We made accommodations for Happy Gilmore, even though, you know, he's a fictional character. Besides the point. Maddie says, Barty, 6-1 in the first set. That's ripping. That's good. Good on her. Hopefully she wins it. And just props to also Dylan Alcott. Unfortunately, didn't get the job done today. Saucy really wanted him to win because he wanted my Woolworths stickers to go. I haven't got him next to me. So
Doma is the largest Alcott collector in Australia.
You're an idiot.
He has multiple Dylan Alcott rookies. Multiple.
I do. Stickers. I'll keep collecting them. You know what? He's a good player, mate. It's good that he flies the flag. He comes across sometimes like not really that liked by a lot of people sometimes, but you know, he does a great thing and he flies the flag really well for the country and great display for disability sports around the world. So good on him. And fantastic career. I think it was his last Australian Open. So he got bundled out today, which is unfortunate. So it's sky's up for him. Order of Australia medal as well for Dylan Alcott. So keep doing great things and I'll keep collecting your stickers. So as simple as that. Adam says Kyrgios just needs to back it up. James says Barty has been number one for almost 2 years. She's dominating tennis. Yeah, she is. She's only won 2 Grand Slams, though, in that time. I'm pretty sure. Grand Slams, Olympic gold in the same year in the history of tennis. Yeah, 100%. Alcott has done great things. All right, so let's move on to hobby talk. Not much on the cards. All right. Pretty much. There's going to be a flaming. But we'll start with eBay Authenticity. I think it's only limited source to the United States at the moment.
Yeah, limited to the United States, and I think it's cards only $250 plus. There's already been some people out there that are like, some people are like for it. Some people are like worried about it as well, because obviously authenticizing it, they need to, take the card out of the thing. Could potentially mean, who knows what could happen. They could drop the card, get damage. So people are like worried about that. I think it's a good thing in a way. I mean, it's good because, let's be honest, there's the grading companies out there don't even know how to authenticize, stuff properly. We've seen that multiple times. These companies that we pay big dollars to, they can't even do their job. So let's hope eBay is able to, take a bit of that share, and maybe stop so much of this money going to these grading companies unnecessarily. Which is, the reason why people send stuff to grading companies is not just to get the grade on the card, but to, get the authenticity and that stamp of that particular company.
James says it's all good until eBay start authenticating fake cards.
Yeah, but PSA authenticates fake cards, and so does freaking HGA, and so does BGS, and so does SGC. They've all done it. So, they did something in that as well, partnership with CSG. So maybe they're using CSG as their, go-to.
They have partnered with CSG. They definitely have.
Yeah.
Authenticity guarantee services expanded trading cards include collectible cards, sports, blah, blah, blah.
So good move by CSG, obviously,
yeah.
Partnering with eBay.
Source is frozen. He's gone
good
frozen.
For their brand?
Yeah, he's back. You just dropped out there for about 2 seconds.
I was going to say that they need to do something about those labels still. So, but what can you do?
Oh, I love it. I love it. So that's pretty much it on that front. Now, it's got to the point now where it's not really even reporting on the news. Like, you would have caught what happened up. Yeah, there you go. Fuck. Adam, you must have read the script before we even came on the show, the agenda. Sasha T and Mojo versus Sports Card Radio drama. Yeah, this is what we're going to talk about. Mark's cards and his thing. Not for anything, thank God, like Ryan got his money back for what happened with Mark's card. Oh, no. He got his money back?
What happened was he didn't get his money back. He didn't get his money back. He's figuring it out, but there's a whole story behind it. I don't really know exactly what happened. I did
that one's a bit of a. I don't want to
go into it really.
That one's a big blunder there, and that'll get sorted out.
There is one thing. Note on that. There is one thing that's going to piss a lot of people off is the way that PSA are now going to do their group sub stuff going forward, which is I think they're going to want money up front, which was before you used to be able to fix the money up when you got the cards back. Now they're most likely, because there's been an issue with money and money not getting transferred to where it should be when cards were given over and so on. Most likely that's going to see some changes to the way that PSA does their group subs and the way money is transferred there. So, that's the only probably shit thing about it. But
unfortunately, it looks like Ryan won't get his money back because Global said he filed for bankruptcy, unfortunately, for him. But it is what it is with those guys. I'm not getting into it. That's their shit. Ryan will definitely get it all sorted. He's a great ambassador for the hobby, and he does great things on the Card Talk pod as well. And we probably try and get him on the show at some stage this year, Ryan, and also Tyler. Then we can say we had all three of them on at one stage. Lou obviously being the first to jump on early last year. The sports card radio thing, on the other hand, all right, it's got out of hand. I understand we probably it wasn't really an overreaction. It wasn't really an overreaction, or was it, Source? The backyard breakers last, was it? Probably not. They did stuff up. They stuffed up on the way they did it when they were getting filmed and all that shit. Anyway, besides the point, we didn't really overreact. We reported the story. They stuffed up. People said that they needed to be educated. No, they're adults. I don't give a shit. They've done shit like this in the past. They got called out. That's it. It's done. We talked about it. We move on. Bang. You know what I'm saying? Done. Logan Paul, BBC, guy comes out and says, oh, we're not confident in authenticating Pokemon cards. You still did it anyway. The case was $3.5 million. It was fake. There's G.I. Joe cards in there. Yep, you deserve to be put on flame. And you did. We flamed you. We're not going to gloss over that. But shit like this source that came across the radar, obviously we got tagged in a few things. Global tagged us in some stuff. And it was pretty common within Instagram feeds during the week was this lemon. Sports Card Radio made a racist remark towards Sasha T, Mojo Sports Cards. Is it Mojo Breaks?
Mojo Sports Cards, Mojo Sports Cards, or
he also took offense to that stuff. Source, do you know a bit more about it? I watched the video and stuff. I went and watched Sports Card Radio's video. He actually, after Global tagged me in it, I re-tagged Global and said, you do realize that he's actually re-uploaded it and clipped out the part where he makes the remark about Sasha T. And there you go. Global said he can't believe they removed the comments. What did you like? In all honesty, what do you expect is going to happen though on that front? My whole thing is, the hobby was a place where we came to help each other, bring people in, educate them, ask questions on where to find things that they like they love. For example, I love Ninja Turtle cards. Just an example. Where can I get them? What do I like? Simpsons cards, NBA cards. And we've turned it into, in all honesty, a circus show. It's a freak show at the moment. The shit that guy was doing, and he's not the only one that does stuff like that. We saw another person last week as well, or the week before. He was intoxicated on a live, and he made a mistake. He put himself in that position. Yeah, he's since apologized, but what's done is done. Yeah, you can't take that shit back. What is happening with these people, Source? Honestly. What the fuck is the matter with these people? You're grown men. You're carrying on like absolute buffoons.
Yeah, it's interesting to see, isn't it? It's interesting to see. Some people just obviously not really thinking before they take action, which is bizarre. But it's getting a bit out of hand, isn't it? Because like we always say this. Unfortunately, the way that people are built, and the way the mind works, and I mean, it's proven every day with news. It's the 90% of the bad stuff that gets focused on a lot of the time, and only 10% of the good stuff. And it's unfortunate that it's that way, but some of the things that people have been doing. I mean, I don't really want to speak about him because I don't want to give him more airtime than people have already given him airtime, because it's all it is just fueling, more people to go view his YouTube channel. So, I don't want to do that. But
it's one thing, Source. It's one thing to complain about the turnaround times on something, yeah. And then, because funnily enough, the segment after this, we're not really bagging anyone. It's more just an interesting statistic that I want to point out. But it's one thing to like talk about a company, I haven't got my cards back, or I haven't done that. But to personally attack someone or make a statement based on what someone's doing. And I know Cage said something in yesterday's episode on LTB as well, where he called out someone who was bagging the crypto market, bagging all this shit because, why it's all a waste of money. It's all a waste of money. And that person's investing heavily in ticket stubs, graded ticket stubs. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, what? In all honesty, I'm with Cage. Like, in all honesty, Source and I will be the first ones to back him in and be like, what the fuck's it to you what we collect? That's the whole thing about communities. All right, I collect crypto. Just remember 4 years ago when we were collecting cards, and we were in the hobby, and everyone outside of the hobby looked at us and went, oh, that's freaking only kids collect cards. Oh, you're a nerd. Just remember that. So what's the big deal if someone collects crypto or collects cards or VHS or video games? Like, I don't believe in, VHS. I'm not going to blatantly say you're an idiot for doing it. If that's what you really want, by all means. If you want it for a flip, then I'd advise you, personally, if you said to me, pull my money, I'd be like, oh, but if it's genuinely something you want to collect, by all means, go for it. People collect different things. It's just the personal attacks it's got beyond the joke. The hobby used to be this place where everyone embraced each other and helped each other out. And now, like I said, it's ridiculous.
It's become a game of trying to tear everyone else down, isn't it? For your own gain, trying to tear someone else down, and to further whatever you're doing. It's ugly to see. It's just not nice, man. Like it leaves a bad taste in my mouth just seeing the way that people are acting within the community. It's not what we want. We want a inclusive community that you help each other out. If people got questions, help them out best you can. Hopefully I can help you not make the same mistakes I did when I first came into cards. If you're new to cards, pointing out to people, someone's a certain collector and you see a card and you give them a tag or you send them a screenshot and say, oh, this guy's selling this card. Like, that's what we should be doing in the hobby. Not personally, bagging someone for the way that they look. I mean, let's be honest. People could say that I look like a freaking terrorist, but I'm not one bit of Middle Eastern blood in me. And I mean, what's any different to me and Sasha? There's no difference. Yeah. Right. So it's ridiculous. It is actually ridiculous. What he said, and I'm not going to drop his name.
Global said apparently
don't know who I'm talking about.
Sasha T said something before. Regardless, like the comments were unnecessary. I know Adam said up here it was clout chasing. In all honesty, Source, if it was clout chasing, like why do you need to call someone out to clout chase? Why couldn't we do what we were doing before the hobby actually become a whole clout chasing thing? What, like, this is not a shot at that comment. I'm just explaining this, like, and Adam will probably agree with me. Why don't we get people on our show? If we've got a channel, why don't we get them on and we collaborate with them? Use each other's networks together to build up in the hobby. Like, I just don't get it anymore. So I genuinely don't get it. And then we wonder why people want to leave the hobby because it is shit.
Yeah, I get sick and tired of like just drama, mate. Just drama over just dumb shit. Half the shit is like, it's literally someone not taking 1 minute to think about what they're about to do before they do it. They just act,
100%.
And then act like an absolute lemon.
Speaking of lemons, the transition is elite. Speaking of lemons, the new format, Saucy, and ladies and gentlemen, watching and listening all around the world. We're taking the lemons of each month, as we said, and we're going to shortlist them in a poll on our Insta story. You will get to vote. We are giving all the power to you now. You are going to choose the nominees that go into it. Sauce and I are going to provide them to you, but you are going to select them. You are going to select Mr. January yourselves, and he's going to go in there for the running to become the ultimate Le Mans of the year at the end of 2022. I will give you the names. Think about these. Just stay tuned. It'll be in our Insta story. But Djokovic, BBCE, Backyard Breakers, Sports Card Le Mans, and that's it. So those are the four guys. I was going to put Logan Paul, but Logan Paul got shafted, man. He actually got shafted.
Oh, yeah, that's why we changed it to BBCE. He got shafted by BBCE.
So those are the four. So, yeah. Adam said trophy will be delivered personally at the Hobby Hangout.
He's coming down.
So that's the Le Mans format, all right? That is the Le Mans format. And now, on that amazing note, the Hobby Hangout, let's transition into that bad boy. And the Hobby Hangout is happening 20th of February. You will see us there. They were kind enough to put us on as it's like we're a main eventer on a UFC card. I don't know what we got to deserve that, to be honest. Hey, Mum, we made it. It's more. We appreciate it, honestly.
It's because we give out lemons, mate. That's let's be honest.
Hopefully, someone that we know pisses us off, and we can give him a personal lemon on the day. We can just drop a lemon in their hand. There you go.
Now, anyone who does not have a ticket, talking about Adam reckons he's got his ticket and he's stoked. Good on you, Adam. Can't wait to see you there, brother. If you haven't got a ticket, make sure you go to the description of this podcast that will say buy Hobby Hangout tickets. Click the link, get a ticket, and make sure you come say g'day. We'll be down there. I'll be selling some stuff. We'll also be accepting cards to submit to HGA and a number of other things. And we'll have the Oracle down there as well. The Oracle will be down there with a few of his big cards, so we never know what he might be trying to palm off down there. So it will be interesting.
Yeah, the Oracle will be there. The Oracle / Encyclopedia will be down there. He'll be at our booth. Come and say hi, and we'll make sure to introduce you to him. We are going to be podcasting. It's not going to be in this format, to be honest. We'll probably be doing more of a roaming setup. If we can get around, more than likely, to the store holders prior to the start of the actual show, like an hour before, just getting an introduction from them, who they are, doing that type of thing. And then halfway through the show, then we might roam around again and then get their take on the Hobby Hangout as well. And then mash it all up and put it out as a nice podcast, a bit of promo for the Hobby Hangout and the great stuff that Andrew and his team are doing down there. Global says, Shane will get that lemon. He's surely going to piss you off in some way. Oh, Shane. I love him. He will. Yeah, I could already see in the first thing, Dom, what are you selling in your cards? Where's your pops? Come on. You give me that shit. And I'll just say, what are you wearing? Corey Maggette sneakers. Like, come on, brother. Come on. Fuck. I'm wearing Puma. You're wearing Corey Maggette. Get out of here. So we love each other. He's a good fella. Adam says, what else he got in here? If you ain't there, you're square. I reckon I might have to submit a few with yous for HGA. Yep, and hopefully we can get a few subs back at the moment. Oh, no. Lock up your daughters, boys. Oh, no.
He's quoting the ACD song. ACDC.
Yeah. So, funnily enough, we're actually going to plan what we're going to do leading up to the show. There might be some other things, but another thing we might even consider doing is, if a few people like Adam's coming down, we'll have a chat to you, and we might even try and go out maybe the night before if we possibly can, or catch up for a lunch, and so we can meet each other and, yeah, just say good day. Oh, Lukey's here. Lukey's having a laugh. Mate. We've got the AGM tonight as well, ladies and gents. Coverage.Media brainstorming discussion post this podcast. But the last thing we're going to end on is this. I never thought I'd see this in my life. Said no one ever. Source. Lemon! Seriously. I couldn't believe this.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it as well. SGC has officially leaped Beckett in terms of how much they're grading per week.
Mate, even ISA in the comments said they graded almost 2,500 cards that week. A quarter of BGS, almost. A fifth of BGS. That's worrying for them.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. I think it goes to show with just how well SGC has done. Obviously, after their struggles when they got hit, like pretty much every company did, and they got caught up in a backlog, and they promised too much and under-delivered. Since that point, they've been really good. I've only heard good things about them. Their turnaround time's an absolute killer. You know, like their 25 days, they're getting them back in like 15, 20 days. So...
Luke, you're a lemon. You're a lemon. You're unbelievable. Can't take you anywhere, bro. Jesus
He's got a
Christ.
fair point, because if you do go out the night before, let's be honest, you might not make it to the hobby hangout.
Adam trying to bar Box Hill. We've got to hit up Third Wave Cafe, boys. Get the Longhorn burrito as big as your forearm. It's insane. Don't worry, we'll sort something out, Lukey. Unbelievable. He's got me. All right, that's it for the show. Surprisingly, it's actually short, half an hour shorter than what we usually do. But we will, based off of
Shout out Flawless drop
demand.
today. Shout out Flawless.
Oh shit! Yeah, fuck.
NBA
Sorry,
dropped.
we actually aren't finished.
We'll have a quick look at that. We'll have a quick look at that, and then we'll wrap up the show.
Yet. Jeez, it just shows how well I'm going.
Obviously, on release day, where do we tune in to go watch a bit of release action? Of
really
breaking.
Is he only? Come on. If you ain't following him,
all the big boys,
all the big boys are doing it. But where I go, and I didn't tune into him today, unfortunately, because I was at work. Saucy did on my behalf, right? If you're not following Lil Poolman and you ain't watching Lil Poolman on release day, you've lost your marbles.
So he did an eight box break, flawless, and then he finished it. And everyone in the comments says, run it back. So he pulled out another 8 boxes and they ran it back. The cards look unreal, Doma. Flawless, one of the best releases of the year for NBA. No doubt about it. Just run us through a little bit of a few of the images.
10 cards per pack, 1 per box, 2 boxes in a case, 9 auto or mem cards, and 1 diamond card. Collect top rookies from the 2020 NBA rookie class. Base rookies are sequentially numbered to 20 and feature a genuine diamond embedded in the card. Each and every memorabilia swatching Flawless is game worn. And you keep telling me you want national treasures. I'll tell you what you can go do with our NT. Look for the first game worn jersey cards of the year for several 2021 rookies. Chase a stunning lineup of prime memorabilia auto content in Flawless patch autographs, star swatch signatures, prime materials, and more. Look for monstrous one-of-a-kind memorabilia cards in Logo Man autos and laundry tag autos of top players from across the NBA. Let's have a look.
Let's have a quick look.
Oh, my computer's gone so slow. It's about to take off. There's a Diamond Halliburton. A Disney. That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah,
that's nice. That's for Lukey. That's for Lukey. Lukey will be buying that.
Beautiful set. Yeah, Maddie did see that. LaMelo Emerald, number to 5. Pulled today was a ripper. How good does that look?
Look at the Don. He's putting kisses on the end of it now. He's putting kisses.
We go.
Oh, man. Imagine hitting that.
Unreal. Obviously, the big bounty is out for the LeBron logo man, triple logo man. So if you see the triple logo man, if you pull it, make sure you go hit up Shine. He will give you $50K for putting on to the lead of the person who actually hit it. So
there you go. And Cherry hit an RPA, LaMelo RPA as well. There we go. I got a Wiseman Flawless auto from Cherry and a rando break. Pretty happy. Global says he's got some bargains at PWCC.
Yeah, I haven't been following too much PWCC action recently, Global. Not going to lie.
Are you able to bring the... what's happening? My computer is about to... Have we done a Saucy Smoky yet? Is there a Saucy Smoky?
Fuck,
we're all over the shop. Look, this is what happens when you got a really good community. They're even reminding us of what the segments are in the show.
No, I didn't have a Smoky, but you know what, Dom? I've been holding on to this one. I'm going to put it out there to the people. I'm gonna do it so we can clip it. We can put a post about it, and this is going to be one of those times that we're going to actually do this because if I am right, I mean I think this could blow up, right? I think this could blow up. Dom knows where I'm going with this. Hang on, let me get eBay up. You do, Dom.
Oh, mind you, I'm going to say once again on the show, Zion's gone to New York. I'm just going to keep saying that. And Haaland and Mbappe are both going to Real Madrid. I just want to keep saying that on the show. So thank you. Thank you for listening. Saucy, back to you.
All right. So
if you're going Matrix here, is that what you're doing?
No, I'm not going Matrix.
Okay.
All right.
Never mind.
So we've seen the hysteria around Marvel cards, right? We've seen the hysteria around Marvel cards, Doma. We've seen the hysteria around Marvel cards, and
let's go.
I've always said, when is DC going to get their moment? When's that moment going to be? And who is the most notable DC character?
Superman.
I attest to that, Dom. I attest to that. I think there's one more notable man on the DC family than him, and that is none other than Batman. Batman himself. I think this card here is
actually a ripper.
An absolute fire card. This is Batman's first ever holo card. Now there are earlier cards. There are much earlier cards, but there is no holo card that has a shine to it. And we know how much people love the first thing that fucking shines, right? So that's what we're going to look for here. And this is his first. Now this guy's named a rookie, right? Now 1991 DC Comics, Robin 2, Batman. This is his first holo. He is in a, I think there's heaps earlier sets in this. But as I said, this is his first holo. Now, this is where it gets interesting, guys. Now, yep, this one's for sale. This guy's got an SGC 8.5 up for $360. But this is where it gets interesting, ladies and gentlemen. These are absolutely dirt cheap to get them raw. Like when I mean dirt cheap, because this card isn't from a set. This card is actually from a comic. It came part of a promo comic. The comic being the 1991 Robin #2 comic. Now, I'll take you over to here. This is the exact comic. This is the comic that it comes out of. And there's a graded one there. As you can see, there's the picture on the front. Now, that is not the card. That is not the card. That is just a sticker. That's a variant. There's different fronts.
You can get Joker. You can get Robin on the front.
There are different ones that you can get. Now, let me just try find one of the ones I've got saved in here somewhere. Surely.
And do you want me to say why it's actually a good investment at this point in time, or are you going to get to that?
We can get that, but I don't know what's happened to my freaking
Your
eBay.
internet shit itself. But the reason why we're bringing this up is because in 2 months' time, in March, the new Batman film is coming out, and all reports is going to be pretty good. So, eyes on Batman once again. We already know what happens when it comes to big things like... I think Marvel's being done to death now because, with Impel and stuff like that. But DC, as Saul said, hasn't had its run. Batman's the biggest, arguably with Superman, but Batman, in this case, his film is coming out. A standalone film is coming out in March. And this is his first holo card. Holo, not first card, holo card.
All right.
Just putting it out there.
All right. Ladies and gents, this is where it gets interesting, right? So see how I've typed in 1992 Robin 2 comic collector's set. Now, there's certain ones where you can see that it's wrapped in this plastic that says collector's set, right? Now, this on the back here, see how there's a card in there? in the collector's set. Now, that's one of the 4 variants of cards you can get. One of the cards being that Batman holo card I showed you at the start. Now, people are selling these comics for $6, right? That essentially means you can find these cards for $6 and you can send them off and get them graded. And I guarantee you, there are only 2 graded PSA in the pop last time I checked. None higher than an 8. So if you can get a 9 or a 10, you'll be the first on the market. This is an outstanding play, ladies and gents. And I'm telling you right now, I do not own any of these. I own none of them. So this is one that I'm throwing out to the family. Feel free to gobble it up and make do with it what you will. But I think it's such a low risk play. In a sense.
Click on that one. Click on that one.
I'm trying to find one. I'm trying to find one that has the other card in the back. It's sort of difficult.
It's got one
image. So there's one here that has like this here for $20. Yeah, so that's a whole. So that there gets you all 4. So that gets you all 4 trading cards. So for $20, you get 4 comics plus all 4 trading cards. So you're guaranteed the card. But what you can do if you got the time, you're savvy enough, you go through all these listings, you click on the ones that have the card, you see they got an image of the back, you click on the image. Oh, there's one right there, right? So I'll just go here. There's one right there. No, there's only one.
Oh, sorry. One's a sticker.
So that's a sticker. So that other one that's on top of it. So that there is just a sticker. And this here is the card. And the card only comes in the collector set one. And the collector set looks like this, ladies and gentlemen. If you're viewing this or if you listen to this on podcast format, please, jump onto the YouTube and suss it out so you can actually see what I'm talking about. But this is where you can be really savvy, right? So you can see there, Doma, that is clearly not centered. So you wouldn't waste your money in buying this because you're already one step behind the ball by buying this because if you plan to grade it, that's already not centered. So, go through the listings, try find ones where you've got the images of the back, find them, find the ones with the Batman cards on it, find the best centered you can find. And I tell you what, buy them, rip it open, send the card off to PSA. And I'm telling you guys, this is I think one of the better plays that I've ever given. Being Batman's first holo. I mean, freaking the early Marvel stuff, in PSA 10's going for thousands, Doma. So I don't know. You get a 9 or a 10. I think this is, easily a $500 card plus. I think
I can disagree with that.
And if you're able to buy them for $10, the cards, and then send it for grading, which now there's a $50 option if you get into that. And if you think it's a really good one, maybe you'll take a punt at the $100 option, which at the moment, by all reports, is coming back in 3 to 4 weeks, Doma. The $100 option, if you pay it, you're going to get it back potentially just as the movie hits. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is Saucy Smoky. Feel free. Let me know if you get some and how you go with it, because I'll be interested to see. For the record, I do not own any, and I've put a lot of research into it. I made sure that was his first holo. I said, he is in earliest sets, but no holo. That's the first.
I'll probably do a bit of a few things are going to change in content as well. So there might be the Saucy Smoky is going to return. There'll be a bit of a write-up on the card, bit of info on it. And then that'll get posted now on the page, among other things that we plan on doing. So, we'll be gauging the family's response on what they would like to see us do next in the coming weeks. Obviously, Sauce and I need to sit down and do some planning, have a bit of a discussion on direction of things for the podcast. But on that note and on that fire play, I'm Dom with the great man Sauce. Keep living, loving, and breathing sport. It's double coverage. Thanks to everyone for joining, listening, participating, and peace.
Peace. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports, double coverage.